All praises to the Most High. Brother Elliot here. You know, the Bible tells us to be in this world and not of this world. To be a part of this world, yet disassociated with it. And I know for a lot of people, this is a concept that maybe you've heard or you've tried to play out or actually live your life this way. And maybe you've had some sort of misunderstanding of how it works, and you want more understanding. And today, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about being in this world and not of this world as believers in the Most High and followers of Christ. You know, having the truth from the Holy Scriptures, the Bible, the Apocrypha, and, the things we've been taught, the things we know, it's a lot, because most everything that we have and everything that we go through or everything that we live by is completely, mostly in opposition of what the world offers and what the world says. We must know that the world has been turned over to the hands of the wicked. So the institutions that are in place, the education that comes forth, the mindsets or the quote-unquote worldview that we are under has demonic and satanic roots. Yet, the Most High has allowed us to be part of this world, to be a light unto the world, to be a light unto the darkness in this world. And we are able to move about in this world, yet how do we move about and not be affected? How do we move about and not be infected? Well, let's go deeper into that. The enticement of the world, the things that may offer, the fun with friends, and the friends who may not have the same convictions that you do and are not trying to live and keep and maintain the commandments, to the laws and the statutes. But yet they're trying to do things opposing those. But yet you're supposed to be friends with these people. You're relatives with these people. You work with these people. You go to school with these people. You're just out every day running errands and encounter these people. What do you do when you know that most everything in this world was based upon something that opposes the Most High? From the places you shop, from the type of clothes that are offered, from the type of food that is offered, all these things. How are we supposed to be a part of this dead and dying world? And yet we see it even more so decaying day by day by day and year by year. And it seems to be turned up even more so recently. Well, if I can give you just an honest answer, the best you can, but you have to be not a part of this world purposely. What I mean by that is that basically every time you enter the world, every time you enter the conversation with people, every time you go to wherever you go, whether it be school or whatever it may be, you have to make sure that what you're doing is on purpose, and you know that you're entering into an atmosphere or a presence that's full of wickedness. There's a reason why the word says that bad company corrupts good character. Because more times than not, it doesn't work the other way around. So to even know that we're going into certain situations where our spirit can be affected and infected by evil, by darkness, and seeds that are planted that could take root, that could just drive us off to a whole new dimension and part of life that we have to recover from. I mean, if I was to say personally, there's a lot of experiences that I experienced in the world, a lot of things that I've done, partook of, situations that I've been in, relationships I've been in, and all that sin, all the things that came from the world has almost taken close to half a lifetime or half of my lifetime, or years and years and years for me to detox and come out of. And I'm sure that there may be many of you guys who um, can say the same, that there's just some experiences that you've had, and because you've had a taste of sin, because you've had a taste of the world, and when the world takes a bite of you, it gets a hold of your flesh. And then when your flesh hits a taste of something, your flesh is going to want more of it. And that's why we have to be very, very disciplined of being in this world but not of this world. We have to have the mindset knowing that everything that comes forth for us is not good for us. If someone puts a whole bunch of candy and fried food and desserts in front of you and says, this is your meal, eat this every day, you would know that even though some of those things may taste good and may trigger certain responses in your brain and make you happy and give you immediate satisfaction, then know that eating this stuff day in and day out will lead to probably disease and maybe even death. So we have to be very mindful of knowing that when we go out into the world, when we go into certain situations, that we're going so with the very focused mind that what we need to do is do what we need to do and then come back out while staying prayed up, while staying, have some sort of foundation or base, people that you can contact and be in touch with, such as family members or other people who are walking in the truth that you know, and do what you have to do. Because honestly, this is where we are. We're faced with the situation where we are in a wicked world that surrounds us, but yet we're not that ourselves, or at least we don't want to be, right? And we want to try to make sure that we protect ourselves as much as possible. And you can't get sidetracked by the glam and the glamour and the lights and the grass is not greener on the other side, is what I'm trying to say. That even though you may see certain people over here doing this and rising up financially or rising up socially, or seeming like they have the best life on social media, or so glamorous and attractive and have so many different relationships, which are probably full of sin anyway, whatever it is, just know that that's not what you need to be looking for. That's not what we're here for. I reference the movie The Matrix a lot, and there's a reason for that. And one of the things that I think of, like when I'm about to go outside, is like, when Neo and the gang, whenever they're not in the Matrix, in the virtual reality, which is basically the world, they're in their ship or whatever, in the control room, in that space. And that's kind of how I feel like when I'm at home. I'm in my own space, I can control it, and everything there is, it's not glamorous, it's just what I do. I'm in the Word, and I'm feeding myself with more things that feed my spirit and not my flesh. But I know when it's time for me to go out into the world, they get geared up and then they go on purpose with a mission. Make sure that you go with a mission and you stay focused. There's so many things that can also, even in our own personal space, affect us, such as media. What are you feeding yourself? Make sure that you're not feeding yourself with worldly media that's indoctrinating you and giving you these ideas. It happens in school. It happens in school as well. And even here at Signal Global, as we continue to build our community, we're going to have resources for homeschool. And just stay in touch. Make sure you subscribe. And we'll have more things. You can visit our website too. But stay tuned. We're going to have ways and opportunities where we can help you guys get education without the indoctrination of evil, quote unquote, that comes from a lot of the education systems and lies, as well as the universities. When you go into the university, there's just a wide open door to be indoctrinated into the world view, which is usually a wicked worldview and a false worldview. So I say this to say that, when we're out here and we're operating, you have to be very mindful and very purposeful of how to be in this world and not of it, and focus in when you go out. When you're at even in corporations, for example, when you're at work, they're gonna, especially now, they're gonna come up with different initiatives to think certain sins and certain sinful lifestyles are okay, and for you to come into agreement with those and welcome. And as believers, we show love, right? We show love, but we hate sin. And that's what we do. Okay, but we don't come into agreement with things that are totally an abomination and are against the word. And if we struggle with any of these things ourselves, not saying that, we're all righteous and we're holier than thou, but if there's anything that we do, even in our lives as followers and believers walking in truth, we have to continue to purge too, and we don't need extra influences of the world trying to bring us even further down or further away from the Most High. We need to focus in on making sure that the things that we're doing is continue to feed our spirit and not letting the world infect us. So being in this world and being of this world is a very purposeful thing. And it comes with a confidence knowing that we're peculiar people. We're people set apart. Right? But let me tell you, a good, holy, righteous man, is a very handsome man. A good, holy, righteous, God-fearing woman who is pure and knows how to keep herself and knows how to maintain her beauty is a very beautiful woman. And the same thing with the children. Okay? So just know that whatever the worldly standards of beauty are, they're not real. They're usually based upon lust and death. But life that comes from us resonating the power and the glory of the Most High, from just soaking in His Word and staying and trying our best to live a sin-free life and repenting when we're out of place and out of step and running back to His bosom, that is attraction. That is attractive. That is holy. That is the light of the heavenlies, the light of the Most High, shining and resonating through us. And then with that comes as well superpowers. It comes with confidence to go strong and boldly and know that angels are with you and that you're protected and that you haven't opened any doors to Satan, but the Most High will go for you and fight on your behalf, and He will be your vindicator. All these things, it's all backwards, everything that we've been taught. And that's why we have to be careful, not to get caught up in media. And even if you're seeing this particular message on a certain platform where messages like this don't really get pushed out to the forefront, but other things do. All the dark and evil agendas of this world are what get pushed out. And even if you're seeing things on this platform that are coming into your feed that are completely opposite of what the Most High would have, make sure you shut that stuff out. Don't listen to it. Don't get a taste of it. Because I'm going to revisit. There's so many things that I did when I wasn't following the Most High like I should, and just going about the world like everybody else did. And I just literally had to pull that away from the fabric of who I was. It didn't come easy. This deliverance was a process sometimes, because there's some things that were part of me that I didn't even know were wrong until the light really started to show up more and more. So I hope I gave you some ideas, but literally the bottom line is being in this world and not of this world is not necessarily an easy thing to do. It has to be a purposeful action, and you have to always be conscious of knowing that when I enter this world and the things that I entertain in my life, they're not for me. And I must make sure that I do whatever I do, be mindful of where I go, be mindful of the company that I keep, be mindful of how I behave in certain situations, and just know that I'm coming back to my home, to my community, to my circle, and I'm shaking the stuff off. I'm staying clean and staying cleansed in the Word. And then know that Christ always talked about the kingdom. He gave us a promise of what the world should be and what will be for those who believe and endure to the end. Focus in on the kingdom. Focus in on knowing where we will end up and how glorious it will be for us. Hallelujah. That's the world we should be living for. But like I said, this is where we are, and let's do what we've been called to do, and let's shake things up for the kingdom and for the Most High and for everything He's deposited into us. Let's pour it out and go forth and be strong. Until next time, talk to you soon. Peace.